Hey everyone, thanks for clicking on the video. Today we're going to talk about the wiring harness. We're going to explain each end of the harness and what the function is. Also stay tuned because my next video will talk about the electrical systems, where they go, where they connect to the frame and how they interact with the wiring harness. So subscribe to make sure you see that video. But for now, we'll start on the wiring harness. So to begin with the wiring harness, there are two main components to the harness. There's the first one, which starts at the headlight, runs to about where the subframe starts, and then there's the second aspect, which continues from the subframe, connects to the battery, and also the backlights. So we'll start with the first one. Now, at this end, this is a massive cluster, but this is where it starts. So firstly, we have a 3-point end, which powers the headlight. And here we have a bunch of miscellaneous indicator lights. I won't get into that one too much. Here we have the horn. Here we have the ignition, so a 6-point lead. Here we have the left clamp. So this is where you can control the horn, the blinkers, the headlights, and all the various functions. And that one's the red one. Here we have the speedometer, so this is a 9-point lead, got a lot of colourful leads going into it, lots of reds, greens, whites, greys. This one is the kill switch, and that one also connects to the handlebar, and this one has the front brake connection as well. And that's pretty much it explained. So the main ones to get the bike going, you need the ignition and you need the kill switch. So these two are essential. Let me just get them up. So it's the 6-point for the ignition and the 4-point for the kill switch. These two are essential to get the bike rolling. As we move down, this is the fan relay. So this is where it processes all the information to make sure that the fan on the radiator is monitoring the temperature and also executing at the right speed to cool the system. This one's going to connect to the radiator itself. So these two, hand in hand, radiator, good for monitoring the temperature of the bike. As we go down the thing, the radiator fan itself. So once the current comes through the fan relay, it'll pass through the temperature sensor, relay that back, feed the information in, then it'll determine how fast the fan has to work to cool the engine down. Further down the track here, we have the turn relay. So this pretty much helps regulate the blinkers. And you might need to get a separate custom one off eBay if you want to run LED blinkers to convert the power outage. This one's the ground. So this one goes hand in hand. Here's the coil here. So this one, when you put it on the bike, this one will be screwed in with the frame, and this one is the coil. So that's the one. These two are the ones that power the ignition, which powers the bike. So this is the one that generates the spark. Here's a dianoid. This one helps the bike regulate the electrical signals throughout the bike, which will, take information from the kickstand, the brake light, if the clutch is engaged, if the neutral switch is engaged, if the bike's in neutral. So this one's very important in regulating the systems. Here's the second water sensor source. This one goes into right next to where the spark plug is, and this one helps send the message back and regulate the temperature of the bike. This one's an important one. This is the CDI number 1. So the CDI itself actually has 2 outputs. So this first one, the 5-point one, goes into the 5-point outlet, and the second one, which is only 2 points, goes into the 2-point outlet. So these two both need to be connected together. Past there, we have the alternator. So this is the one that actually connects to the connection that comes out of the bike. And here is the impulse generator. So this one and the alternator, where is it here? These two all connect to the cords that run from inside the engine. So here's the alternator / stator, and here's the impulse generator. So we'll look at those later on, but these kind of sit like this in the engine. But We'll go into detail more later, but these two are your cords. It's a 2-point and a 4-point. And then that's the end of the first bundle of wiring for the harness. And what this will do, this will connect up to the second part, and this is the part that starts to run down to the subframe. So we'll just remove this part for a second. And this one's fairly simple. So this is the connection it connects to. Wires come in here. Now the white wire is your positive cable. Now mine's a bit funny because the guy before me has put custom cables on it and I had to fix it up. But this is your positive, this is your negative. If we had a battery, it would sit like that, positive into the negative. From here, we had the rear lights and the right indicators. As we work down, we had the left radiator and the number plate light. And here we have the actual regulator. So this one helps convert the AC into DC, which from the alternator, which helps charge the battery. But it also regulates, now I don't have it, but it looks like this. It also regulates the DC current and turns it into AC when the stator and the alternator needs a little bit more spark. So that one's very important. And yeah, when you connect them together, you have the whole wiring harness for the KLR250. This is a 1985 model. And it looks like this. So again, pause the video, go back, have a look at each connection. I've tried to show you how many points are in each connection, but this is an overview of the wiring harness. The next video, I'll show you each electrical component by itself, and then I'll also show you where it connects to the bike, as well as how to hook up the wiring harness to the bike frame. So subscribe so you can follow when that video gets released. Thanks.